What's up, everybody? Thank you for joining us for another episode of the QA. I'm your multi-talented and frankly impeccably handsome host, antpooh. You can call me by my government name, Anthony. And as you can already see, she's in rare form, per usual. The sulky, depressed. I'm looking at her on video cam, and she looks quite plain without the makeup.
Ooh, yeah.
I gotta be me. That's Miss AKA Meriah Hudson. How's it going today? Well, actually, evening.
It's tonight, and I'm awesome. I look exactly the same.
She does not, and that's not a bad thing. I'm just saying. You know,
I look exactly the same, just less eyebrows.
You know what they say? You go from 0 to 100. Right now, she's at 75.
You can come over here and catch these hands, though.
Whatever. So, as you might have deduced, it's July 5th as we're recording this, day after Independence Day. Yay! Didn't get my barbecue on, but I did get my beach and my fireworks in. But also, that means tomorrow, AntMan and the Wasp, is debuting in theaters. Now, because we're the cool kids, we've already seen it. And since I'm the coolest of them all, I've seen it twice already. So that means I ain't paid jack to see this film. So we're going to go ahead and give you a spoiler, and then spoiler-filled review of this film, and just break down what we thought of the last Marvel film to be released this year. I guess I'll go first. For me, I love this film. Yes, I'm going to go first. We ain't doing that chivalry stuff. Chivalry's dead. You equal.
That's not true.
Whatever.
I have all the chivalry.
Well, but back to what I was saying. I love this film. You have to subvert your expectations of this Marvel film. Ant-Man is a comedy heist film to be precise. So what you're not going to get is an extinction level villain, extinction level event. It's really small in scope, but they do it with so much heart, so much humor that it get drawn in. I'm more of a Hank Pym Ant-Man fan than Scott Lang, but Paul Rudd does the damn thing in this character. Also, I will say people have been waiting, 8 years since Disney bought Marvel Studios for the Disney effect to be seen within these Marvel films. This might be the first one. This is so quintessentially a Disney film. You have the loser hero who's trying to do right by his kids. He's trying to do the right thing by his friends. He has to overcome all of the odds to save the day. Spoiler. And he managed to do so while at the same time redeeming the villain. So overall, this is a great Disney film that just happened to be produced by Marvel Studios, and I loved it. MVP of the film, Randall Park, who played Agent Wu. That guy was hilarious. If you've seen him on Fresh Off the Boat, it should come as no surprise. But every scene he was in, he stole. Every scene he was in, he stole it and elevated it. And the thing about it is he's with Paul Rudd. He's with Michael Douglas. He's with Michael Pena, who's hilarious in his own right. Yet he was able to go toe-to-toe with them and not only deliver a great performance, but become the highlight of the film. Meriah, you saw it last week. What is your opinion?
I mean, obviously I loved it. Come on now, some MCU movie. But what... I know we're all used to the happy endings of things, but it kind of pissed me off that they had a happy ending.
What?
The fact that the mother was saved. The fact that the mother was saved from the, what is it called? Not the Phantom Zone. Was it the Phantom Zone?
Quantum reality or quantum? I forget the name of it. Yeah.
The fact that she was saved from the Quantum Zone. What is the Phantom Zone? That's from a different comic book.
Phantom Zone is your favorite. Yes.
Of course.
But
of course.
You're the Superman fangirl though.
I was trying to think of it and I couldn't think of it. But anyway, the fact that she was saved bothered me. Like, I needed her to die on the way back, or it's I don't know why. It just bothered me because all of these superheroes, something goes wrong, something deep in their past, or something happens that's traumatic, and that's what makes them who they are. And it's like, okay, she's the new Wasp. Like, why did you bring back the old one? Like, she should have just. I love that they got Michelle Pfeiffer though. She a rock star.
Well,
Like,
just to give our listeners a little background. So the crux of the story is twofold. One, Scott Lang, who is Ant-Man, he's feeling the consequences of his action of helping Captain America in Civil War. So what happened with that was he was captured, he was arrested, put in jail, but they offered him a deal, which to me, here's my side eye. So this guy is clearly superpowered, and they only gave him 2 year sentence for violating the Sokovia Accords. That one just didn't make sense to me, but whatever. Hank Pym and his daughter Hope, they're upset with him because they used the technology to help Cap, and they're on the run. Somehow, apparently what?
she wasn't mad that he used it. If you remember, she brought
That's
it up.
right.
She was mad
That's right.
he didn't ask her to go with him or told them about it.
Do you? My question is: do you really think that made the difference? The fact that he didn't talk to them first, or the
Well,
fact
yeah,
that he
she's
did?
like messing with him. He went to go save the world and didn't say anything to them. And it wasn't his, it's not his thing. It's their thing. It's their suit and all that. And he was mad because the technology was exposed to the world. But she was like, why didn't you ask me? Like, I trained you. We were partners,
The other
we were other things. That's exactly what she says. We were
true.
other things. That's why she was mad. It's a woman thing. You wouldn't understand.
The other thing that they mentioned was the fact that they're under the impression that he destroyed the suit. I mean, come on, this is a Marvel film. Of course he didn't destroy the suit. But Hope and Hank's mission is they believe that Janet Van Dyne, Hank's wife, Hope's mother, is lost in the quantum realm, and they want to go get it. And Ant-Man plays a role in it because he went there and he might have mind melded with her or some bull. So that's what they're wasting against time. And then this is where one of the other side eyes, there's this other character, Ghost, who is a part of Hank's past with a former colleague, and she's phasing, twitching, she's tweaking like a crackhead. She's she's the main antagonist against them because she wants their technology to heal herself. So I just wanted to give that background as far as what's going on. Continue. She was what?
She was phasing.
Oh,
she was phasing in and out.
True.
Every cell in her body was ripped apart and then put back together.
That's a dope power, and you saw how great she was with it. The action scenes are amazing in here, but
they were.
But as a villain, I just wasn't invested in it. What say you?
I wasn't either. I'll give them. They completely. Her morals were all the way to the left. Like she was ready to hurt kids and shit. But
yeah.
I wasn't invested in her as a bad guy either, and her reason for hating. What's his name?
Hank Pym.
Her reasons for hating him were dumb. She blamed him, and it's like your dad chose to do that. Like it wasn't necessarily him. They both had a dumb reason to hate him.
Well,
dumb reason.
The thing is villains always have misguided hate. I mean, Doctor Doom hates Reed Richards because he told him, "Don't do this; it'll blow up." It blowed up. It's your fault, Reed. So in spite.
No, his hatred was a little justified. I mean, he got his girl. Like he was in love. They were in love with the same girl.
You're talking about the movie. I'm sorry. I'm talking about the comics.
Oh, yeah, I didn't care about Fantastic Four at all.
Yeesh.
But I
big sexy. Do not destroy any furniture. Hearing that statement.
I was gonna say no. The movies made me want to see it specifically for the Silver Surfer though. When I saw the Silver Surfer movie, I was like, I need to look at these comic books because this character itself is just the concept is dope as well. That's a conversation for another episode though.
Clearly. You
could put me onto it on another episode.
Clearly. So what are your other overall thoughts about the film?
Overall, I love the film. My MVP would probably be his daughter.
Really? Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
She was the one that convinced him, like, look, you got to do it. This is who you are. You got to break some rules. No. It's always something like that. It's always like the neighbor or the kid or like the mother who's like, oh, no. And like they always look for permission from somebody. And the little girl happened to be at this time. And I loved it because, got a kid.
And as I said, quintessentially Disney, because that's pretty much their go-to motivation. Am I wrong or right?
It's another reason why I wanted the mom to die.
Let's talk about that for a minute. So in the film, Ghost is going to use their technology to extract all of the absorbed quantum realm energy to help put balance her body and make her whole again. But I thought what was going to happen was Hank was going to die because I just felt okay. That's kind of cliche. That's kind of the trope. They go save them, but there's always a consequence. There's always a cost. When she got out of the ship and we didn't see Hank, I was like, oh, he died in the process. That's how she made it because he saved her. But no, they said no. We're going to give you the big happy ending, and we'll get into why they did that a little bit later with that post credit scene. But I was fine with that. Again, I was anticipating Hank was going to die, but I'm kind of good that they brought the family back together. I mean, I don't know why you want to be miserable and say daddy died.
One of them needed to die.
Nah, it's cool. Sometimes you got to remember this came after Infinity War, where we watched so many of those heroes die, and I think going in they knew that, so there's like, let's not give them another death. So yeah, one of the other antagonists in the film, Sonny Birch. Now apparently, I don't know how he has all this money. He's getting hold of all this technology to give to Hank, but Walter Goggins playing this role, I think he nailed it. That was the one when he went to Michael Pena's character, Lewis. Yeah.
Bad guy, Spy too.
And where?
Spy.
Really? Huh, I didn't see that movie. What did you think about that whole story arc as it was unfolding?
I mean, that's pretty typical too. What I'm annoyed about is all these things are predictable nowadays.
How so?
He couldn't just take the money and be like, okay. Like, of course, it's the bad guy that wants whatever it is that. So then there's technically two bad guys. That's predictable.
But
always
see,
the black person trying to steal some stuff.
that's American greed. You don't take the why go for the $100,000 payoff when you can get the hundred millions, if not $1 billion payoff.
Ooh, you want to know who's the MVP? Who's the sidekick guy, the little Hispanic dude that talked too much?
Luis Michael Pena.
He stole the show for me. They gave him the truth serum, and he was just.
That was also because I think the audience was waiting for Luis to. Is it Luis or Luis? Yeah, I think it's Luis.
I think it's Luis.
Yeah, okay, Luis. For waiting for him to do that whole thing again, and they didn't let us down because not only did they give us Scott and Hank and Hope, but just so many, and it was hilarious when they brought that in. That's mid, I think that's the mid part of the film, and it didn't disappoint. Now, who I'll give a L to is T.I. I guess they just brought him back because he was in the first film, but they gave him absolute.
One of the producers.
He probably got one of those fluff producer credits.
So I'm gonna need you to take that L back because if he did any of the real producing in that movie was good. So
wait, let's take a look. Is he a producer on here? Nah, he ain't. They don't have him listed as a producer. Maybe it was an EP, but I'm telling you that's a fluff title. Come on, it's a fluff title. But yeah, they didn't really give him much there. I'll say, T.I. go get those Disney checks, but damn, they could have gave you a little something meatier, at least close to what they gave you in the first film. The other thing I would give a big ups to were the action scenes. That final chase scenes where they were going, enlarging and shrinking the cars and chasing all around San Francisco, that looked amazing. And one thing I would say is how did they pull that off? But Black Panther has some shoddy CGI because this looked perfect to me.
True. They're still pretty great, man. I especially like when he was up against the wall and deflated.
So, oh yeah. They did the psych out, right? Because he learned from the online magic courses. You got to see the movie. That's hilarious too.
I wouldn't have named it Ant-Man and the Wasp, though.
And why not?
I would have named it the Wasp and Ant-Man because this whole movie was mainly about her.
Yeah, she was. I think she's probably co-MVP for me because her fight scenes and her acting was really top notch. She was able to take you through all of the different ranges of emotions: anger, fear, jealousy. Maybe not jealousy, love, all of that. But yet.
General storyline mainly focused on her and her family with like large cameos from the Ant-Man.
Yeah. But a big L is definitely Ghost. Was not feeling her at all. Nice to look at. I give her that. Her powers were cool, but her backstory bored me, and her motivation bored me. I didn't care whether she lived or died. I'm like, okay, that ain't what we here for. Does the original Wasp get out of the quantum realm?
Apparently she does, and she should have died. And she just comes back, and the explanation is so shoddy. Like, oh, I changed down there. Like, I have the power to heal and shit. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Well, I mean, to be honest, she's in this quantum realm, soaking up all of that energy. So I think her effects was affecting Ghost. I mean, I'm quite sure she's not doing anything else outside of that.
That's dumb.
Whatever.
That's so dumb.
So before we get to our recommendations on this, we have to talk about the post-credit scenes. Now, again, Infinity War came out in it.
Sorry.
What was that?
Spoiler alert.
Oh, okay. So we all know Infinity War happened in April. Ant-Man and the Wasp took place before Infinity War. So of course, we had to find out who was going to catch the Infinity Fade, trademark fan bros. Shout out to DJ Ben Hameen. And we got it in the post credits. There are two. The first one is awesome. Ant-Man, Hope, Janet, and Hank, they're going to send Scott Lang into the quantum realm again to get this energy. He goes down there. And as he's ready to come out, I guess Thanos snapped the fingers, and Hank, Hope, and Janet all caught the fade. And Scott Lang is stuck in the quantum well, which I guess is going to play itself out in Avengers 4. And there was even a hint to it, as Janet said, whatever you do, don't go into a time loop or we'll lose you forever. A time hole, that's what they called it. What did you think? Because me, personally, I thought the fade was going to start when they were in the... when they were watching the movie with him. It was Scott, Hope, and his daughter. And I'm like, oh yeah, Hope is going to go and his daughter's going to go and Hank is going to fade, because that's just how it's going to be. Like, mother comes back, father has to go. But to get rid of all three of them, I was like, I was not expecting that. And that was pretty dope.
It was. I like how they wrapped it up. It somewhat explains why he wasn't there with everybody, and explains what he's doing now and why they need Captain Marvel. So,
ooh, look at that! Look at her. She's getting all geeky. Captain Marvel. Said it with the accent.
The Wonder Woman of the MCU.
Nah, I'm gonna go with Storm in my opinion.
She's a Wonder Woman, bro.
Yeah.
She's a soldier. Storm is not a soldier.
It's a good point.
She's a thug, but she's not a soldier.
Ooh, why she gotta be a thug? Because she black. See, this is why black and brown can't stay together.
I didn't mean it literally. I meant it in the slang.
Wow. So, is this Ant-Man and the Wasp?
She's a boss. Better for you?
Okay. At least she didn't say she's a boss bitch. So, Ant-Man and the Wasp, does that get a First Day Dollarz from you?
Definitely, except for the fact that I've already seen it for no dollars.
Ooh, look at that. She's stunting on us. And I'll go ahead and make it unanimous. This is definitely First Day Dollarz. It's a family film. It's a comedy. It's a Disney movie. You're going to laugh. You might cry. Maybe. Well, you cry at the end when they do the Infinity Fade. Yeah.
Dumb.
I enjoyed all of it. And if you can't tell, I'm back living in the hood, so all these fireworks are still going off because I guess people didn't explode all of them yesterday. But, what can you do? So, moving on. Meriah is pissy. Pissy. More than usual. Like
I was. I'm not today, but I definitely was.
Yeah, you were. So she came across this tweet. It's regarding this soon
It's a story. It's not just a tweet. It's a whole
oh, okay. It's a Twitter thread. Fine.
Article.
So it's regarding this recently casting for this somewhat superhero sci-fi television show produced by Michael B. Jordan called Raising Dion. Now the original, which is original, I believe,
Is there an original? Because I couldn't find one.
yeah, it was a. I believe he did a comic book or at least a one
There
shot.
was a comic book, but they were talking about the original like movie,
Right.
which
What what they did is they shot a trailer, I guess, because they wanted to shop it around. So this is what it would look
yeah,
like. So there's an original trailer for Raising Dion, which is about this single black woman, which I had a problem with that, raising her special son who has all of these powers. Apparently, the creator, I gotta look that up real quick. He decided, what would it be like if Superman came was a little black boy with all these powers in modern era, and how would, instead of being raised by Paul and Martha Kent in the heartland of America, instead he's been given to a single black mother in the Bronx or something. I don't know if it's the Bronx or whatnot, but that's what I'm gonna say.
it doesn't give an exact place.
Yeah. So yeah, it was written. It was a short film and comic book by Dennis Liu. So
Asian.
Asian guy, yeah. So you gotta remember that. Remember that. So the original short film, they casted a dark skinned mother and a dark skinned son. Well, lo and behold, when they got time to get an option as a TV series, they released pictures of the new Dion and his mother. Let me see, what is her name? Forgive me, forgive me, forgive me. His mother's name is, of course, Nicole. Nicole and Dion, they are now light skinned. And well,
To be fair, in the little, trailer that they created, the mom's not all that dark skinned.
no, she's not. She's not.
She's not. So, but go ahead, finish.
Yeah.
Before I start off going in on this.
So Black Geek Twitter, they kind of had a problem with that, as they believe colorism is rearing its ugly head again, where they're going with the more Euro features of two light-skinned leads as opposed to the darker skin Afro features of the original casting. And that was kind of a very strong talking point. I see both sides, but I'm going to go ahead and let Meriah talk about this because she has let's just say, a very controversial opinion about this. The floor is yours.
Well, let me first start by saying I clearly understand that colorism is a real thing. It's it's a very real thing, and our dark skinned actresses and actors do need, well, let me say actresses because there's a lot of dark skinned actors, which is the male version. They're getting all the roles. Like Idris Elba out here killing it. Um, but our dark skinned actresses, they obviously need to get way more parts. More parts need to be written for them, and they need to get their money's worth. Their value is just as much as these white actresses out here, but they're not getting paid as much as them because, colorism. But now they're using that against light skinned black women. And my problem with that is, yes, that's partly true. I won't say that it's not. But my thing about it is we want progress. We want progress in our own way. Like we're not considering it progress because it's a light skinned woman. That makes no sense. That defeats the whole purpose. Yes, we all need to eat out here. Like we all trying to eat, but it doesn't help if you're trying to take from other people's plates. Like it's all progress to the white person. We're all black. But because we're light skinned, it makes it different. And I can go into a whole bunch of reasons why that's not even entirely fair. But that was
No, 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 no. Go ahead. Go in. This is your platform.
okay. Well,
Don't be scared.
there was a time I'm not scared. I was actually confronted. I don't know if I've put this in a previous, podcast, but I was actually confronted by a dark skinned woman once, and she told me like, "You'll never, like, you wouldn't understand our struggle. Like, you're light skinned, it's completely different. You wouldn't understand." And I'm not saying I would understand it. You're right. I don't understand your struggle because that's your personal struggle, but you wouldn't understand mine. I'm, I'm biracial, which is why I'm light skinned, because there's, black women out here that are light skinned, but they are just black. So I'm biracial. They wouldn't understand my struggle. They don't understand the fact that I have two different races. I can sit here and identify as black 24/7, but I don't have the security that they have to walk into a black community and be just generally accepted because you look the same. They're going to question me about mine because I'm light skinned. I don't know the struggle. That's, and I hate to use this word because a lot of people are probably going to be angry, but that's privilege all in itself. Dark skinned women have the privilege to walk in and be generally accepted into their own community. I don't. And if I claim one side, then that means I'm rejecting the other. And if I claim the other side, I'm rejecting that one. I don't know fully about my whole heritage because I don't look like either. It's really hard for me to associate with just one, and I wouldn't want to associate with just one because I have two. It's not. My mom has even told me instances of when she's walked with me or my sister and they give her weird looks because she has this little dark-skinned baby. She didn't want to just be our Hispanic mom or our white mom because she looks almost white. She just wanted to be our mom. She's just our mom. Or I've walked around with my dad, and because he's a short man, they're sitting here asking him, like, oh, is this your girlfriend? Like, no, this is my dad.
Whoa.
I don't have that privilege to walk into either one of my family functions and feeling completely at home or accepted by my own family because I don't look like either. I'm the black sheep of the family on my Hispanic side too. They don't understand. And not to mention, as a light-skinned woman, I'm way more fetishized than the dark-skinned woman because I'm light-skinned. I'm considered exotic to the white man. So it's bad enough I'm
not just a white man.
Now I'm a light-skinned woman, so I'm exotic and I'm fetishized. And now I can't even audition for the same roles because if I get it, then it's still looked down by my community that I identify with, that I feel pretty much at home with because I'm light-skinned. Because I'm not dark-skinned. So apparently I can't do the job right. And these people aren't thinking about who else they're insulting. Oh, this woman shouldn't have been cast because she's light-skinned. It should have been a dark-skinned model. Well, there's also a whole team of casting directors who go through hundreds of thousands of submissions and are listening to these people audition, and they found someone they think is right for the part. And it might be because she's light-skinned, yes, but it also might be because she was the best person who read for it. This is the best person that could do it. And you might be thinking, oh, well, there's a bunch of dark-skinned actors, or Viola Davis could have done it. Well, she's a giant star. She might not have the time. She might have not auditioned. They might have offered it to her, and she was like, nah, this is too low budget for me. Whatever the case may be, but they're not taking any of that into consideration. No, what they're showing, it's a light-skinned person role that should have been dark-skinned. Yeah, I can completely hear that.
Oh, my mic's not on.
So it just bothers me because you don't get to choose the progress. It's all progress for the community. But now we're nitpicking amongst ourselves, and that's segregation or racism all in our own community. It's bad enough that we're fighting that with the white community. We don't need to fight it within ourselves.
I see both sides of this. You know, you're my friend. We're pretty close, aren't we? And we've had a number of conversations, and I understand and I feel the struggles that you're going through. You know, I'm fully black. I don't understand what it's like to be black and Mexican and the situation that you've gone through. So when you see these things occurring, I get why you get a little heated because, as you said, no, you're fond of saying no race segregates themselves more than blacks. However, you know, for the ones that aren't doing that, I see their side where there is this standard for females because let's just be honest, black men to an extent are not dealing with I don't feel, let's go with that because I don't want to give absolute. I don't feel they're dealing with the same colorism when it comes to getting acting roles. You look at Chadwick Boseman, Michael B. Jordan, Idris, Denzel, Wesley. He was the man for a long time. So when it comes to being dark skinned and a black male actor, you don't see it hindering them as much. And I see, as much. I mean, Forever Lupita, there's probably 10 Hollies. She's the standard of beauty within Hollywood. And, you know, I say that and she's mixed as well and light skinned.
And what's she mixed with?
She's mixed with white. Her mama white as fuck.
care about her.
But I mean, I'm just making a point. I'm like, oh, and she's mixed. You know, she's for the most part identified herself as black, but she's mixed. I see both sides of it, especially as you know the conversations we've had and seen, and learning and seeing the things that you've gone through. That yeah, there is that backlash towards light skin, and it's like, how do you get to that happy medium? Because you look at Tessa Thompson, people are swearing up and down, she's amazing, she's an actress, she's light skinned, and there's no problem with her getting certain roles. Now, she did make a statement that she was asked to audition for Black Panther, and she said, no, I should not be in that film because it's in Africa and they're predominantly dark skinned. Although, if you actually look into Africa, you'll see some light skinned ones as well. But in this case, I don't know the full story. Maybe the actor, because I don't remember how long ago that short film, the actor that played Dion, maybe he grew up a little bit and wasn't as cute. I mean, it's gonna be honest. When you casting kids, you want the boy to look cute. And if he aged a couple of years and it went south for him, I can see why they want to replace him. The actress, I've seen her on a couple of shows before. This would have been a great opportunity for her, but in the roles that I've seen her in, she's not that great. So
She's in Shadowhunters.
she's in what?
She was in Shadowhunters. She played a wolf.
Are you talking about the original casted actress or the one they got now?
The one they got now.
Oh, okay, so she's been working recently. What do you think about her acting?
I can't really say for sure. Shadowhunters wasn't a show for like great actors. It was like a bubblegum TV show, you know?
Hmm. But I mean, I think at the end of the day, we probably do have to you have to take a stand. Unfortunately, this is still a white dominated industry, and they have a certain look that they want to go for. And unfortunately for black females, it's the lighter skinned, straighter haired, Euro-aesthetic look. And it's clear that I'm riding the fence on this because I'm just going to go ahead and admit it. I don't know what the right way to think about this is. I don't. And I'm going to admittedly say, I don't know what the right thing to say, the right thing to do. I think we really should support one another.
No. I'm mostly on the fence too. It's really hard to tell the difference between real colorism and just people nitpicking.
Like, to me, real colorism was hiring Zoe Saldana to play Nina Simone. What the fuck were they thinking on that?
I didn't see that, and I would turn totally gay for Zoe Saldana, so I don't appreciate your comment at all.
No, Zoe Saldana is a beautiful woman. You know those twins did her well. But I'm just saying she's very fair skinned to be playing Nina Simone, who was not only not a classically beautiful woman,
She really wasn't.
she was dark skinned, and her music and how she presented herself constantly spoke to her non-traditional, good-looking black female aesthetic. So, getting Zoe Saldana was just a slap in the people believe it was a slap in the face. And, as I did research, I'm like, you know what? Yeah, maybe it could have been a, what is her name? Tasha from Power. I can't think of her name. Notori Naughton. Maybe it could have been a Viola Davis, depending on what time period it was in. Maybe it could have been, what is her name? Nicole Bahari from Sleepy Hollow. Darker skinned females. Candace Patton from The Flash. But, they went with someone who was lighter skinned, and what made it worse was they darkened her.
Oh, Lord.
Yes.
I didn't see the movie, so I don't even want to know.
They
No, don't get me wrong. My entire whole little rant that I just did was not to say that anyone was wrong for speaking up on it, because they definitely weren't. But that's not all they did. They're talking about, we're not going to watch it now. This is ridiculous. This was a show that I was really looking forward to seeing, but now I'm not going to do it. So now you're not even supporting the writing or the storyline that further helps the community because
True.
you're mad
Yeah.
at the light-skinned woman. I have no problem with you speaking up on it because it's true. Like I said, colorism is a real thing, and it's really hard. It's a fine line. It's really hard to tell if it's being that way or not because, again, You never know. Maybe no dark-skinned actresses worked out and they didn't want to take a chance on a new face because the story itself, they wanted it to reach so many people. They had to pick a bigger name, someone who's actually done some things and had a fan
Mm-hmm.
base, whatever the case may be. But they're talking about just like the whole Black Panther thing when Michael B. Jordan was outed for dating a woman that wasn't of the black race. And they were talking about we're not going to go see Black Panther now. So now you're hindering
Well,
all the
actually, they're saying it was hard to find any tweets or people, black women, saying they said that was some BS. But I get your point.
I personally saw people saying like we're not going to go see it now.
Really? Oh, wow.
Yes, and I remember too because somebody put a GIF in response to that person saying that. It was like a black woman, and she like picks up her purse and swings it over her shoulder and starts walking. They're like, gonna go see the movie regardless of who Michael B. Jordan is dating. But that's what I'm saying. Like we're literally like it's not just comment anymore. It's action and oh we're not gonna do this and we're not gonna do that. I get it. You can be mad. It's a light skinned woman. You prefer a dark skinned woman. That's fine. But now you're just not gonna even support the storyline of a woman, and you guys aren't even mad about the fact that the black male, the lead, the dad, dies, and the person who steps in to help raise the kid is a white man. Like, that's the thing you just have to get mad at.
Speak on that, and that's where I wanted to bring that to, is because this story, yes, it was bought or is optioned by Michael B. Jordan's production house. Props to that, brother. But the story is created by an Asian, and I'm not saying that different races can't tell other races stories or can't cast them. Like this story could have very easily could have been Asian, could have been Hispanic, could have been another white person. But for some reason, this person thought, this would be great if it was a black family. However, I did have a problem with, okay, daddy's dead, and so there's a white daddy savior. I have a problem with that. Like, you're trying to tell me that you're gonna, for one, there's perpetuating a stereotype of the single black mother raising the child, but then further that there was no other black male influence in their lives, that it's a white person. And I don't want to be that way, but sometimes the optics just aren't looking great. That one I kind of had a problem with.
Walk out though, he died.
Yeah, I know he died. Yes, that's fine. But it's fine, but it's not fine. Because I'm like, why does the dad have to be absent? But I guess he was telling the story of the mother raising this. And I'm just saying, well,
to be fair, most of America, it's like single mothers it's Ben Hameen has been going around preaching that men are trash. And no offense, but most men are. You don't see grown men out here getting tattoos of their dad's names. It's mothers' names because mothers are the rocks. They're the ones that stay. Not saying not every single ones do, because you got crackhead moms out here that leave their kids with the dads and stuff. But
okay, so we about to fight. I'm gonna be honest, we about to fight
with the kid than to see a single dad with one. Just saying, that's like real life. If you're being completely honest.
Okay, well,
you were a product of a single mom.
Yeah, my dad was trash.
Okay,
he's trash.
I'm a product of a single mom. My dad was a crackhead, and then he got better, did really well for himself, and still wasn't present enough to have me like him.
But here's the thing, and I've said this to my mother, so I practice what I preach. Why the hell did you fuck that nigga?
True.
I didn't say it exactly like that, but
some people fool you, and
yeah.
They'll be around for a good minute.
No. And this is where I'm gonna get real personal. I had a conversation with my father, and he said something that was so egregiously fucking stupid. I'm gonna go ahead and put it out there, so you guys can ask me if I'm doing all right. My father told me, this is the dumbest shit I've ever heard. He said that he went to my mother. My mother's going to kill me for this, but whatever. He went to my mother and he had all of these birth control and prophylactics. And he swears up and down that my mother said, oh, I don't give a fuck. None of that's going inside of me. And he said it like, you see, I'm a good man. This is what I did. I just looked at him like, forgive my language, nigga, I'm here. Which means you went to a woman, said, let's practice safe sex. She said no and still fucked her. Like,
Lies.
I'm like, you sound like. Do you know how dumb you sound?
That's the men's go-to thing, though.
Oh my god!
I didn't use no protection when I had my kid. It wasn't even the
Wow.
shit thing. It was just we had a long relationship anyway. But then when I found out I was pregnant and got around to everybody, he telling lies that we did. It didn't work. He was drunk. All kind of extra stuff. That's what men do. None of it was true. Completely sober.
You
I
know,
just got off work.
I'm a
No protection.
I'm a married man, so I can proudly say that my child was born out of love.
Congratulations.
I got that. And for all those,
I
all,
hate sex. No, I'm just playing.
oh, we'll get into that one too. Breathe the V shout out.
Yes, I know. You want to discuss that next episode.
Yeah.
Next podcast.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, unfortunately, men are trash, and colorism is real. But the answer to that, in my opinion, isn't to just go ahead and write off something because of casting, because you never know where the other casting is going to be. That there will be representation of darker skinned people. Again, I'm fence riding like a mother. I'm not dick riding, fence riding like a mother, because I see both sides of that, especially because of my partnership with Meriah, who's, yes, she's an exoticized, half-breed, light-skinned, straight-haired girl, but she has problems too. I mean, I love to have those problems. Well, no, I'm a man. I ain't gonna lie, it's great to be a man. So, I don't want those problems.
It's a lot easier to be a man, and it's harder with the law to be a dark skinned man, but you got your own community behind you, bruh.
Yeah.
I don't.
To paraphrase Tupac,
Paraphrase.
I did have a Schmidt's hard liquor, so that's why I'm fucked up here. But anyway, to paraphrase Tupac, antpooh cares if don't nobody else care. Keep your head up.
That's so stupid. And if you were here, I'd punch you in the face.
You have to catch me. Anyway, so that is our week in Black People Got Issues. That should be our reoccurring segment. Now we're at my favorite part of the show, which is recommendations. I have a great one. Meriah, did you bring your A game and have one?
Not really, but I got one.
Okay, you go first, because I know mine's is awesomer than yours.
If you guys know, I recently fell in love with a new British man. His name is. What is going on? What are you? I can't say. All of you that don't know, he over here raising his seat after we've talked for 45 minutes, just now deciding he's uncomfortable. But anyway, I fell in love with a new British guy. His name is Jordan Bolger, and I looked into the things that he's been on, and it's a TV show on Netflix that I'm not sure how old, but I know it's older. It's called Peaky Blinders.
What?
And it's called Peaky Blinders. It's an
Okay.
English show. They're all from Birmingham. They all have a very heavy English accent because, it's the ghetto part. But anyway, it's called Peaky Blinders. It's on Netflix. It has like 4 or 5 seasons. And it's like the English prohibition version of Power that just, got their next season on Stars. Just had their premiere. But anyway, not them. Peaky Blinders. It's actually very good. It's pretty crazy. It's only one black guy in it. It happens to be Jordan, and he's not until like season 3. But it's still pretty good.
You seem to be finding the most obscure ass shows to watch on Netflix. What is up with that?
I get bored and I go through Netflix and I read the synopses of the shows, and if it sounds interesting, I watch them.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put you on blast. As we all know, Meriah is soon to be 28. She's a single mother.
Rude as hell.
And she's not currently in a relationship. So I say,
put my age out there. I don't appreciate it.
Hey, you ain't 30.
I'm 2 years from 30.
Shit, you know how many years I am from 30?
I'm not a kid. This does not make a good single person. What is wrong with you?
Okay, let's break it back. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put her on blast at the moment. Meriah is a single mother. She's still young. And when I said single, I mean she's not in a relationship. So, some young gentleman who's watching this or listening to this, please hit her up on Twitter at Meriah Hudson and take her out because she needs something to spend her time.
You about to get all these little boys' feelings hurt. You go ahead. You go ahead and break the hearts of millions.
Yeah, we're gonna that's gonna be for another podcast because we got to get into how she's just so picky and just like curving so all these men.
When I say I'm picky, I could say I'm an asshole. There's a difference.
Wow, she's gonna be a single asshole. Well, my recommendation is better than hers because I actually got my punk ass out of the house and took my oldest daughter to go see what?
Nothing good.
To see the first Purge.
Boo!
Now, the original The Purge, I thought it was a nice psychological thriller with a family hold up. The second one was okay, a lot more action. The third one was trash, but this one, holy fuck. Now, it's not as great as my homeboy Michael Dean likes to made it out to be. He was damn near wetting himself over. God damn, this is dope. However, it has damn near everything you need. First of all, yes, it's set in the Purge universe, but it's actually a prequel. This is the first Purge, and there's so many social subtext to this film. There's actually spoilers. There's actually a scene with as the Purge takes place where a group of white people go into a church and kill all the motherfuckers. There's this don't be snoring. There's this one dude, Dimitri, who's, of course, he's the drug kingpin of the neighborhood. It takes place on Staten Island. He has an underling that's trying to usurp him, is going to use the Purge as a way to get him out of the way. There's also these two, I guess we can call them hoes. Yeah, I think they're hoes. Yeah, hoes. That have this dope-ass action scene. The brother, Dimitri, I don't know how he's like a combination of Rambo, Blade, and Luke Cage, but goddamn it, he goes into the projects, yes, the projects, to take on all of these military trained white boys. You got to go see it. There's so much in it. There's even a Trump reference. It's the Purge, but yes, there's a Trump reference in it, but it's a funny one. Don't put your head down to it. It's the first Purge, and of course, what are black people doing when they find out that crime is legal? Two things. They have a party where everybody's having a twerking contest, and the homeboys decide they're going to go rob the jewelry store. Now, I'm just saying, Meriah, if the Purge was real.
Trash.
No, but it's funny.
It's going to be real. They keep making these movies and Trump is the president. Watch, that's next.
That's what people are saying, because it's funny. This guy, Tariq Nasheed,
and all the people are going to get killed off first because they can't afford protection. Just watch.
Please don't. No, don't do that.
To go extinct. We might be scrappy bastards, but
well, see, that's why I married me a foreigner, because if shit does go wild, I'm going to Jamaica. You can go to Mexico. I'm just saying you can. So that's my
trash, racist, and dumb. I refuse.
Okay. Well, I enjoyed it.
I watched the first two.
You only need to watch the first one. Well, yeah, the second one's pretty good too.
They're all stupid.
So before we get out of here, Miss Moody Meriah, where can they find you on social media and the interwebs?
The interwebs?
Interwebs. Yeah, you don't like that? The interwebs.
I hate you. That's what it is. Anyway, you can find me at AKA Raya on Instagram and Snapchat. And I'm Meriah Hudson on Twitter. That's MERIAHHUDSON.
And I'm gonna go real quick. Let's see where she's at with her social media.
I ain't got no followers on Twitter, no followers on Instagram, and no followers.
Oh my! Well, you
like do any of them.
Well, you've doubled since the last time I looked, so I give you props on that.
To be fair, on Twitter, I'm hilarious, but nobody pays attention to my comments.
I'm
hilarious. I just tweeted like an hour ago, and it says, sometimes when I be looking like a snack, no one be hungry.
Oh, Oh, wait, hold up. You got to reply. I got to see what this says.
Nah, Brandon just liked it because I'm hilarious and he understands. You got to understand how hilarious I am. I'm not appreciated on these social medias. Okay.
So, Brandon,
not ugly. I'm just broke.
So, Easy, are you out here choosing up on Meriah? I see you, Playboy.
You better knock it off. You got a girlfriend. You about to get me fought and you beat up.
Oh, please. And you can find me, if you so choose, on Twitter and Instagram at antpooh. Right now, I'm just so in love with my adorably cute baby, and I have a ton of baby pictures and videos. I'm debating if I should put up my baby twerking on the table video. Yes, I'm a horrible father.
That's so dumb. I unfollow people like you. I had a kid, and my Instagram didn't turn into a Luca No Waves freaking profile. I'm gonna follow you.
First of all, I'm a work from home dad, so pretty much my baby sees me all day, every day, except for maybe 2 days a week. So
start her an Instagram profile, so we have the option of seeing her or not.
You know what? That's a good, yeah. I think I might do that.
Look at you using your noggin.
No, actually, it was your noggin.
The more you know.
All right, Jesus.
It's a 90s thing. You would know that if you were from the 90s.
First of all, that came out in the 80s.
Hashtag on.
Whatever. And as we like to say at this time, work like a job. Peace.
The ones that look like socks. I like going to the Tula. I put rocks all in my watch. I like texts from my exes when they want a second chance. I like